Good morning to you, friends and neighbors. It is Friday, August 21st, 2015, and time now this Friday morning for the Elder Law Report. Greg McIntyre is here from McIntyre Elder Law in Shelby, North Carolina. Good morning to you, Greg.
Morning, Bill. How are you doing this morning?
Great, doing fine. Good.
Well, good. I'm feeling up and peppy this morning. I've been up since about 4:30 this morning, I guess, maybe 4:45. My kids started back to school yesterday.
They started to school yesterday.
They did.
How about that?
And so, I took them to a bus that they catch to go to school at about 7 o'clock yesterday and today, and got up early to work out at about 5 o'clock with my oldest, okay? Jordan, he's 15. And then we'll finish up about, at 6. Come home, scoop up the other ones, try to go to the cafe, Shelby Cafe, eat some breakfast, and get them to the bus. So.
You do all that in the morning?
That's right. That's before.
It's your morning
before I get started. I love to do that. Love to take the kids to the Shelby Cafe and sit there and eat some bacon and eggs, and get them a good breakfast. Kids are pretty simple. They need plenty of sleep, love, and good nutrition, right? You get them that and get them started, wind them up in the morning, and they'll go all day. They got energy. That's right.
Do you call?
Not yet. We can get into that. Yeah, I think we might call Stephanie, if you're listening, and be scared, because we might call you this morning. Stephanie's my wife, and she did a lot of preparation and getting all the kids ready for school. I have 6 children, blessed with 6 children, 2 boys that are 15 and 11, and 4 girls that are 8, 5, 4, and about 21 months.
Wow.
And
that's great.
And my wife does a great job of doing all the things that I can't do when I'm at work all day. Although I think Steph's in the office this morning helping out, so because most 4 of the kids are in school right now, 2 of them I think are with my mom today. So everybody's in back to school mode right now. Do you have kids, grandkids going back to school?
Grandkids.
Hey? Really?
They start today.
They start today?
They go to the Gaston County schools.
Gaston County? Okay. Starts today? So they all stagger. They start at different times, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
Did you help do any preparation for the kids to go back to school?
Well, I was trying to help find out what their school supplies were, what they needed.
Right.
Since we don't have the stores here having the Gaston County list. So I went online to the school, and you had to enter an email address, and then to send you an email back to get the school list. Well, when the list came back, it evidently was designed for kids because there were all kind of links to click on.
Right.
Buy this. So it was this school list of the pencils and the things they needed.
Tissue.
Was trying to sell them stuff.
Paper towels.
Yeah. Strange stuff.
Wipes.
This is list
Hand
like
sanitizer.
30 things.
Yeah, I went and did the boys, my 2 boys. Stephanie did the other 2 girls that go to school right now. So it's a long list of stuff.
Not simple enough just to go to the school website and then list it.
Yeah, I had to take out a loan to buy all my school supplies. So
That's true.
So but it's good. We want our kids to go back to school. We want them to do well. We want them to get the best education possible, right? Seniors, going into their senior years, they have a lot of specific issues that they deal with, from Medicare to supplements to Social Security to long-term care issues to Medicaid to protecting their, scared that they're, in situations that they might lose their hard-earned money and property, and trying to protect that either from other people, family members, or from a Medicaid spend-down long-term care situation.
It's a whole different education they need to
It's
know
good.
how to navigate.
That's what our show is this morning. Back to school, right? With the elder law guys. So learn how to protect your hard-earned money and property. So even as a senior, you need to stay in school, right? You need to educate yourself on those things. Hayden, where do you go to get that education?
On elder law? I'm
On
in the
elder law.
office.
Huh?
I'm in the office.
I know you are. I know. Well, I mean, you could call an elder law attorney. You can go online and look at resources.
Google. I'd probably start like that. Things that I needed to know.
Can
Facts
you,
about growing older.
can you trust everything you find online?
They're usually trying to sell you something.
I sit down with people all the time who don't necessarily have the facts straight. Either that, or they've looked it up online and they know what they need to do.
The seminars you do bring out a lot of misunderstandings that people have.
That's true.
And
We
the
talk about
skepticism people have about some things. And it's interesting listening to people's questions when you have seminars.
I'd love to call, give people the phone number, Milton,
Yeah.
and if they want to call, you want to talk about any questions that you have, so you can get educated on any question you have about should you get a power of attorney, should you avoid guardianships, how do you protect your house, how do you protect your income, when should you take Social Security, what's the difference between Medicare and Medicaid in long-term care situations.
And
All those are really questions we answer all day long.
one of the most enlightening things I've learned lately is how little Medicare and Medicaid pay when you have to go into a nursing home. I think everybody just assumes that because it pays for our doctor bills and our hospital bills, that if we have to go to a nursing home, that Medicaid or Medicare will pay. And
Well, Medicare.
Medicare or Medicaid, whoever.
Medicaid, now long-term Medicaid, long-term care Medicaid, special assistance and long-term care Medicaid, let's talk about that for a second, the differences. So Medicare, is available to all seniors, right? And you can get a supplement also, right, to cover the holes, I guess. And if you're in, say, a long-term care situation, as long as your prognosis is rehabilitation and recovery, they're going to pay for 20 days of long-term care after you, say, been discharged from the hospital into a rehab facility, assisted living facility, or a skilled nursing facility. After that, the supplement will come in and pay for about 80 days, okay? As long as your prognosis is rehab and recovery. After that, who pays?
Medicaid.
You do out of pocket,
Oh, of course.
okay? So you pull out your wallet or your checkbook and you start writing checks.
Hopefully
And
not.
if you apply to the long-term care Medicaid system, there's special assistance, or SA, which is for assisted living care and has a 3-year look-back period on any property transfers. Nursing home or long-term care Medicaid, you'll hear it called both, has a 5-year or 60-month look-back period on property transfers and pays for long-term care and nursing home care. So that's the difference in the systems there.
Look back period means during that 5 years, they look at whether you transferred, bought, sold.
Yeah, so let's open the
Either way.
books. Yeah, the real experts are the social workers. It's your local social services, your county social services department. They'll take a look at everything that you spent, or that the senior, the person who requires care, they're going to open the books and look at last 5 years of bank accounts, investment records. They're going to look at every transfer. You're not going to be able to hide anything. You don't want to hide anything. That's called Medicaid fraud. Okay, that's a big deal. You don't want to go there. So they're going to look at everything that was spent, and if it was spent for a purpose that's allowable under the Medicaid rules. Was it spent for health care? Was it spent for an improvement on the house? Was it spent for a special van to transport someone who needs a special van, maybe that has a wheelchair? Was it spent to prepay a funeral? Those are allowable expenses, okay, that you can do with the money, even in an emergency situation. There are other ones as well. And an elder law attorney, where I would come in, is saying, okay, under the rules, how can we preserve assets as best possible to care for the senior, especially if it's a married couple and one of the healthy spouses has a lot of good years to live. Or you don't want to lose the home or the farm that's been in the family for 100 years because a Medicaid lien would be attached to it. Those are just the tip of the iceberg, really scratching the surface there on issues that seniors deal with and why they need that education.
Yes, and education in itself. I'd rather take advantage of your having learned all this than try to learn all this myself.
I just ran over. That was a long. They took a little bit to answer that. It's a complicated issue. Milton, could you give the phone number for the radio station?
Absolutely, absolutely. We have 3 phone numbers for our audience out there, wherever you may be. The Cleveland County, Shelby area, 482-1390. Lincoln County, Lincoln area, 735-8071. Cherryville and Gaston County, 435-2844. Those are all 704 numbers, and you can call any number you want to, no matter where you are. Those numbers are the same numbers we use for other things like contests and swap shops, so you're pretty familiar with those numbers. But again, 482-1390, 435-2844, or 735-8071 if you're not familiar.
Hey, you've got some fun facts about back to school for the Americans, for us Americans, right?
Right.
Give me a couple of fun facts.
Well, every parent has to buy back to school clothes. The kids just expect it. They need it.
Right.
$8.5 billion was spent in just 2012 on back to school clothes.
All of it made in China.
Probably.
I don't know. That wasn't the fact. I'm
Vietnam.
guessing. Yeah, somewhere.
And also, here's another one. In 2010, 56 million students were expected to enroll in grades K-12.
That's a lot of people. Got a lot of kids. We need to really value our school system and our kids. And hey, do pencils still have lead in them? Hey, a number 2 pencil, a lead pencil. Do they
A
have
lead pencil?
Yeah.
Would it not have lead in it?
We call it a lead pencil, don't we? Do you know?
I don't think it.
They're no longer made with lead. They're made with clay and graphites. So there's not a risk of lead poisoning. That would be bad. I still have a pencil lead stuck in my hand from like the 4th grade.
Yeah.
Where I either stabbed myself or someone else stabbed me in the hand. I don't know. But he said, I remember doing that. The sharp pencils sticking myself.
My mother, who passed away when she was 89, she would show me in her palm of her hand, you could still see pencil lead from when she was in school. Stayed in there all those years.
I bet you a lot of seniors out there still have pencil lead stuck in their hand from when they were in school.
Yeah.
Call in and tell me if you got pencil lead stuck in your hand from when you were in high school.
Oh my goodness.
Do you know before the 1930s, Americans only went to 8 years of school?
Before the 1930s.
Until the 1930s.
Until the 30s.
Yeah. They only went to 8 years of school.
I know in the 30s, graduation was the 11th grade.
So you shifted to the 11th grade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 1937, you graduated the 11th grade.
So, what do you call a fear of going to school? What's the clinical
Oh,
term?
I've got it.
You got that one?
No, I've got the fear of going to school,
got the fear?
but I don't know what it's called. I didn't know there was one. Should have known there was one. There's a fear of anything.
I'm looking at it, and I don't know if I can pronounce it right. It's didascalenophobia. Didascalenophobia. That's the closest I can get.
I've got a big case.
Didascalenophobia is a fear of going to school. You know, my wife Stephanie did all the prep for our kids going back to school. Not all of it, because I helped buy it for the boys. But let's call Stephanie and ask her really quickly what she did for the kids going back to school.
There we go. Oh, if I could see the dial here, y'all. We are dialing. We are dialing. I hope I dialed the right number. Okay.
Let's see if she was listening or not.
She might be listening from the phone.
Hello, this is the principal at Thomas Jefferson Classical Academy calling. We have one of your children in the principal's office.
She was listening.
You know who this is, don't you? Morning, how are you doing? Thank you for not running from the phone and picking it up, because we're live on the radio, okay? So, what do you call a fear of going to school? What's the clinical term? What kind of phobia is it? She wasn't listening. You weren't listening. You got to tune in. We talked about. No, I'm just kidding. All right, it's didascalenophobia. Didascalenophobia. 2.4% of children worldwide have didascalenophobia. It could be didascalenophobia. I don't know. So anyway, I wonder, that's got to be a joke. It's didask in there. So maybe didascalenophobia. I don't know. So anyway, all right. So Steph, we were talking about getting educated and getting prepared for school, and why it's important for seniors to be prepared for all the issues they face going into their senior years, and just so they know the lay of the land. Because knowledge is power, right? Wouldn't you say that? We want to. Is education important in our household? Did you have to do anything to prepare for the kids to go to school this fall? Go to Walmart? That was organized chaos over there. I mean, hey, I thought I was dad of the year because I just went to Walmart for one night and took the boys and bought all the school supplies for the boys. But you did do more than I did. I was telling them that, I take the kids to school in the morning, or at least the last 2 days. The first 2 days of the year I've made it. Every once in a while. I can't do it every single morning, but I like to. And you even had to meet me at the drop-off point at the bus this morning. It just takes that much logistical organization to get them off and going, I guess, to get everything there, right? And you helped me do that. And I really appreciate it. I really do. So, all right, I just wanted to call you when we were talking about back to school and all the preparation that needs to be done to go back to school, all the preparation that needs to be done and study that needs to be done to help protect your hard-earned money and property as a senior. And I just thought that the two really paralleled and went together. I appreciate you talking with me this morning. I appreciate you being in the office this morning. Well, listen, I'll see you when I get back, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay? All right. So, appreciate you, Stephanie, taking our call this morning.
Oh yeah.
But a lot of what Stephanie said is very true. It takes a lot of preparation and planning to do anything right. And if not, you're really ambushed and you're in a crisis or emergency situation. And we deal with seniors and their families who are in those situations sometimes. If husband, wife, mom, or dad are in a nursing home, for instance, okay, or health is declining, or Alzheimer's or dementia has come upon them, and they haven't gotten in place simple things like general durable powers of attorney are so important to have in place before then. Or else you're pursuing guardianships so that you can even handle personal business for the senior. Or if you're a husband or your wife. So, it's important to plan ahead, to pre-plan, and to have that preparation in place. And what you're really doing is looking at, you spend all these years working hard and trying to save a little. And paying taxes and everything else. And, you just want to be aware of the challenges that you face so that you can not have to worry and make things easy.
Isn't it less expensive to pre-plan than to go through crisis planning?
And the cost is much less, a fraction, to pre-plan as opposed to crisis planning, because it takes a lot more resources from you, the senior, from the family, and from an office like an elder law attorney's office to get you out of that jam, if you will.
Everything can almost
It's
shut
got to happen
down.
in a hurry.
Everything can almost shut down when you have a crisis that everybody has to pitch in on and get everything ready.
That's right. That's exactly right. So you know, avoid that situation. I would rather see people avoid that situation. So, and if anybody wants to call the office, it's McIntyre Elder Law at 123 West Marion Street, uptown Shelby. Right across from the new Farmers Market Complex, we're in the middle of the block with a blue window that has McIntyre Elder Law and our tree on the window. And you can call the office at 704-259-7040. Use the code word radio. I'd be glad to sit down with you free of charge. I'll waive the consultation fee. Use the code word radio. And we can talk about how to have proper preparation, either while in your senior years or going into them. So we just get your ducks in a row.
Yeah, and you'll give them the free workbook to list all their assets and their property.
You know, that's a great
statistics.
point. Before you can identify really your goals and what you want to do, you need to have a firm handle on all your assets and information. So our estate planning or long-term care planning workbook is a great place to consolidate all your information. We can take that information, it just speeds things along. It's a great place for you to keep that workbook. Call our office if you want us to send you a workbook. We can mail that directly out to you, priority mail, or we can email it straight to you. It's a great place to consolidate your information. Great way to come to me at a first appointment and have a sit down. If you need help filling out that book, whether you're a client or not, whether you've got an appointment with me or not, I bet you, Kelsey, our client relations specialist at the office, would be glad to sit down with you and help you complete it, schedule an appointment to do that. So if you'd like a free estate planning workbook to consolidate all your assets, just get a handle on them, list them, give us a call, 704-259-7040. And if you use the code word radio and want to sit down and schedule an appointment, be glad to do that as well.
Greg, just a thought I had here. Someone who tries to do the planning on their own without a professional's help, a lawyer's help, what are the chances of doing everything? I mean, you know, I saw.
I meet with people every day.
I saw. I like to go to thrift stores to buy little whatnots and stuff. And this one particular store is in shelves just full of books and books and books. Just books that nobody wanted or weren't helpful or whatever. But guess what one of the books was? It was about preparing your own will.
Okay.
And I thought, now, can you really do this? And can you do this properly? Is that a proper way to prepare for the future? Doing it yourself, do it yourself will book.
I mean, you're really gambling.
Yeah.
And you're gambling with everything you've worked for your entire life. So
the
question is, should you work an entire life, pay off a home and possibly other things, accumulate assets, and then try to write your own will or buy a piece of software or go online and get something like that? This just doesn't make sense. And gamble it all on something that's $29.95 or something, and you're going to get what you pay for, in my opinion.
Probably why that book was on the
On the
bookshelf.
thrift store
It's probably outdated by now
Yes,
anyway.
yes.
I mean, I think you need to make sure that you've got proper witnesses and a notary there to view it in the right number, and they have to see line of sight. And then you've got to have an affidavit, self-proving affidavit on the will that or else the clerks or the judge are going to want to call in those witnesses, or could call in those witnesses to verify that they actually saw the will signing. So it needs to be self-proving. And there's other elements too that need to be there.
Yeah, just the things you've mentioned, that's just tip of the iceberg, I suppose. That's enough to confuse and overwhelm the average person, I would imagine. So coming to a lawyer such as yourself, I mean, you guys deal with this every day.
One of the things I've learned that I'm going to ask you to do for me is to do a plan for me where things pass outside of the will. I don't want my children to have to wait 90 days.
You do wills.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That's
right. You do
your
wills.
favorite thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, of course we do wills, but if you sit down with me and we're passing everything by your will, I haven't done you a good service because passing everything through a minefield that's laced with liens, possibly, that's where Medicaid liens attach and other liens to sell, to make your property be sold to satisfy those liens. Probably not the best idea when there's other easy ways to pass that property directly to descendants, just like as easy as making them a beneficiary on a life insurance policy, for instance. Okay, you don't want would you? And that's the question I ask that really shows people why they want to pass things outside of a will. Do you have a life insurance policy? You got a beneficiary on that life insurance policy?
I do.
Is it your estate?
Yeah.
Good. It's directly going to somebody you love, a loved one, right?
Sure.
Your children. Okay. Do you want to change that and make it go through the estate so it goes through probate and is subject to the liens? Why not? Why don't you want to make the beneficiary of your life insurance policy the estate?
Well, if I leave it to them, they own it.
They
It's
mail them a
theirs.
check.
Yes. If it goes into my estate, then it's subject to
You got to file the estate.
Yeah.
You got to pay the attorney to help, maybe. Yeah. So there's a payment. So it can be more costly. You got to wait all the prescribed waiting periods. And it's not unusual for an estate to drag out for even a year. So they wait to get that money. That's why you don't want. And they're subjected to liens, right? If there are any. So that's why would you want to pass your property that way? Why would you want to pass your house that way? It doesn't make sense. So that's why I wrote an article called "Are Wills Obsolete?" Okay, and really in my article, I think I put forth the idea that maybe they're getting there. Certainly, we need a better system and way, in my opinion, to pass and protect money for seniors.
Is that going in your plan?
And houses, property. Yes, Saving the Farm coming out soon. Hopefully I'll be finished with the writing and editing within the next 30 days, and that's a book for the layman, for the consumer, so that if they have a loved one or they have a question, about any issue having to do with protecting money and property of seniors or healthcare situations, they can grab that book and it'll be a good resource for them. So,
Greg, we're just about out of time. About 2 minutes to go here.
Sure.
Anything you want to cover in the last couple minutes?
now we had a busy week this week. We gave a seminar to the Cleveland County Chamber of Commerce, or at the Cleveland County Chamber of Commerce, on Wednesday. And Hayden, you did a great job helping me with that on Wednesday morning. And then we talked to a group of social workers, Western North Carolina social workers, yesterday
That was up in Columbus.
at Columbus,
Beautiful.
at Laurelhurst. Was it Laurelhurst or Laurel Woods? They have two there. Laurelhurst. Okay. I love that.
Different levels of care.
I love that area. It's a really nice area. And so I was honored to be there. I had a couple of other elder law attorneys in attendance there.
That was nice talking with them.
It was. To meet with some colleagues, because they're not everywhere. But anyway, that was the week. We got anything coming up this week?
No seminars.
No?
Busy at work.
Busy at work. So I guess that was our week. I'm just blessed to be doing what I'm doing. And Milton, thank you for allowing us the platform to talk about what we do and to talk to you.
All right. We'll see you guys a week from today then.
Absolutely.
School will be back. I hope the kids do their homework. Hope the folks out there listening do their homework.
So so next week the show is going to be on why my kids hate school, or why I hate school because I got to do homework with all these kids.
All right, folks. We thanks for listening in. And again, if you have any questions, and remember, you can call the office, use the code word radio for your consultation with McIntyre Elder Law, 704-259-7040. All right, we'll see you next time, next Friday, after the 10 o'clock news and weather.